It was one of those quiet mornings. You're standing in front of the mirror, everything looking just right from the front, a touch of makeup, your familiar smile, the same practiced routine you've had for years. But then in a store window or a passing reflection, you catch a glimpse of yourself from the side or from the back, and suddenly the story changes. What you see isn't wrong, but it's not the whole you either. Because while we spend years perfecting the front, the back of our hair, the nape, the outline, the shape, quietly tells its own tale. And sometimes that story can age us more than we realize. For so many women over 60, this part gets overlooked. Yet it can be the secret to instantly lifting your face, elongating your neck, and bringing back that polished, confident silhouette you didn't even know you were missing. In this video, we'll explore small, subtle haircut tweaks that can transform not just how you look, but how you feel when you catch your reflection. Because sometimes all it takes is one precise snip at the nape or a few hidden layers to make you say, yes, that's me again. Number 1, tapered nape, the quiet power at the back of your neck. Let me start with a question. When was the last time you really looked at the back of your haircut? Not in a salon mirror where you tilt your head politely, nodding as the stylist spins you around. I mean, really noticed it. For most of us, especially after 60, the truth is, we don't. We focus on what we see in the bathroom mirror every morning, the bangs, the front layers, the way our hair frames our face. We check our lipstick, smooth our collar, maybe adjust an earring. But the back, it's out of sight, out of mind, and that's where the problem begins. Over time, as our hair changes, growing at different speeds, with shifts in texture and density, the nape area can start to lose shape. Without regular attention, it becomes bulky in all the wrong places, puffing out or collapsing in uneven spots. Instead of elongating the neck, it shortens it. Instead of looking polished, it blurs the outline of your whole head. It can even make your posture seem heavier, more stooped, without you realizing why. It's like wearing a beautifully tailored blazer that bunches up in the back. No matter how perfect the front looks, something feels off, and the effect is subtle but powerful. People see a silhouette that's less defined, less vibrant. The impression isn't carefree, it's careless, even when you've spent time getting ready. That's why a tapered nape can be such a game changer. This is not a dramatic haircut that screams, "I just chopped my hair." It's a precise refinement, trimming from the bottom up, creating a clean yet soft line at the base of your hair. Done well, the transition from your neckline up to the crown feels seamless, like it was always meant to be there. The hair hugs the back of your head without clinging or bulging. The beauty of the tapered nape is in how it changes the way you carry yourself. With that excess bulk gone, your neck suddenly looks longer, more elegant. Your jawline sharpens ever so slightly. Your profile looks lifted, even if you're leaning back in your favorite reading chair. And it's low maintenance. As it grows, the line stays graceful. There's no awkward grow-out stage where you feel like you need a hat. I've seen women walk into a salon thinking they needed a complete makeover, only to discover that all they needed was this quiet adjustment at the nape. One client told me afterward, "I feel taller, not just in how I look, but in how I stand." That's the power of a clean neckline. It's a small act with a big echo in your confidence. And let's not forget the practical perks. No more hair bunching up under scarves in winter or getting caught awkwardly on your coat collar. No more overheating at the back of your neck in summer. The shape stays sleek even after a long day. Before a tapered nape, the back of your head might look like an afterthought, as if you stopped caring somewhere between the crown and your shoulders. After, it looks intentional, cared for, and polished from every angle. And here's the best part. You'll notice the difference not just in the mirror, but in the way people look at you when you walk into a room, even when you don't see them looking. Sometimes elegance isn't about adding more. It's about removing just enough. So what's left feels lighter, cleaner, and unmistakably you. And for many women over 60, that transformation starts exactly where you least expect it, at the quiet curve of the nape. Number 2, soft pixie. Light on your head, light in your heart. I'll be honest, for years the very word pixie made me nervous. In my mind, it meant giving something up. Softness, femininity, maybe even a part of myself. Like stepping into a cut that was practical, yes, but stripped of grace. So I clung to my longer hair, telling myself it was safer, more flattering, more me. But here's the truth I didn't want to admit. As my hair thinned at the crown, that extra length was doing the opposite of what I hoped. Instead of making my hair look fuller, it dragged everything down. The top flattened, my eyes disappeared into the shadows, and the natural lift that used to brighten my whole face was gone. I was spending more time trying to coax volume into it, round brushing, teasing, spraying, only to end up frustrated when it refused to hold. It's a common trap for many women over 60, holding on to the idea that longer means younger, when in reality, finer hair needs lightness to look alive again. That's where the soft Pixie quietly changes the game. This isn't the choppy, razor-sharp style you might remember from runway models or punk icons. It's not about making a bold announcement. Instead, it's a gentle reimagining, slightly. Longer at the crown to create lift, with soft edges around the ears and nape so the shape flows naturally. A little texture through the top and sides works like magic. It doesn't scream, "I spent an hour styling this." It whispers, "I woke up like this," on purpose. And that's the beauty of it. The soft Pixie plays with what you have instead of fighting what you've lost. It works with fine hair, lifting it at the crown, so your profile feels open again, your cheekbones catch the light, and even your earrings seem to sparkle more. The emotional shift is just as powerful. I remember the first morning after my own soft Pixie cut, running my fingers through my hair and realizing I didn't have to wrestle with it anymore. No more negotiating with a mirror, no more sighing when my hair fell flat by noon. Just a quick tousle, maybe a spritz of water or light styling cream, and I was done. My mornings felt lighter, and so did my mood. And the femininity I was so afraid of losing, I didn't lose it at all. In fact, I found more of it. With my face no longer hidden behind heavy hair, my expressions felt more open, my smile more visible. I wasn't trying to look 30 again. I was showing up as the best version of my 60-something self. Before a soft Pixie, every styling session felt like a small battle, chasing volume that wouldn't stay, covering thin spots, hoping for a good hair day. After, it's freedom. 3 minutes and you're ready, with hair that moves, breathes, and frames you beautifully. The biggest surprise? That sense of release wasn't just physical, it was emotional. Letting go of the weight on my head somehow helped me let go of the weight I didn't even know I was carrying inside. The rules I thought I had to follow, the versions of myself I thought I had to preserve. Sometimes, the right cut isn't about going shorter, it's about going smarter. The soft Pixie is proof that you can be light on your head and even lighter in your heart, and that's a kind of beauty no length can match. 3. Hidden layers. Lift you can't see. If you've ever stood in front of the mirror, running your hands through your hair, wondering why it still looks flat no matter what you do, I've been there. You've tried mousse, volumizing sprays, round brushes, even flipping your head upside down with the blow dryer like you're about to launch into orbit. And yet, within an hour, gravity wins. The crown falls, the shape collapses, and you're left with the same lifeless outline you started with. For many women over 60, the temptation is to add more visible layers on top, hoping they'll create lift. But here's the catch. Visible layers on fine hair often do the opposite. They break up the density, revealing more scalp and making the hair look thinner. And as hair naturally becomes more fragile with age, those exposed layers can fray or lose shape quickly, leaving you with a style that's harder to manage and even easier to flatten. That's where hidden layers quietly work their magic. Instead of stacking layers you can see, your stylist creates shorter sections underneath your top layer of hair. From the outside, your cut still looks sleek and full, but underneath, there's an invisible scaffolding that gently lifts the crown and keeps the shape buoyant all day. It's a structural change that doesn't scream, "I've had a haircut," but your reflection will feel different, softer movement, more bounce, a natural roundness that doesn't rely on heavy styling. This technique works beautifully with bobs, soft pixies, even short shags. And because the outer layer remains intact, your hair maintains its density and shine. Before hidden layers, every morning felt like a workout. holding a blow dryer and round brush in a complicated dance, layering on products that left your hair stiff or sticky, and watching it all fall flat by lunchtime. After hidden layers, the process becomes blissfully simple. A quick blow dry, maybe a light brush through, and your hair lifts itself, holding its shape without the extra effort. I once had a client who swore she'd never have volume again. Her hair was so fine and resistant to styling. We added hidden layers during her bob refresh, and the next time I saw her, she said, "I don't know what happened, but my hair works for me now." She had stopped fighting it because it no longer needed to be forced into shape. The beauty of hidden layers is that no one can see them, but you feel them. You feel it in the way your hair moves when you turn your head, in the lightness when you run your fingers through it, in the confidence of knowing your style will still look fresh when you catch your reflection later in the day. Sometimes the lift you need isn't about showing more. It's about taking just enough away in the right place so the rest can rise naturally. Hidden layers are that quiet, clever lift that works behind the scenes, making your hair look and feel like it's helping you shine instead of holding you back. 4. Letting go of long hair when lightness becomes beauty. I held on to my long hair for years, not because it was working for me, but because it felt safe. There was comfort in the familiarity, in the way it framed me the same way it had for decades. I told myself it was youthful, that it softened me, that it hid the parts of my face and neck I didn't want to draw attention to. But deep down, I knew it was more like armor, heavy, outdated armor that was quietly working against me. Here's what happens to long hair after 60 that no one really talks about. The fullness you once had near the ends fades. The lower half of your hair becomes finer, less dense. Gravity does what gravity always does. It pulls everything downward. The weight drags your features with it, making your jawline and neck appear softer, your overall silhouette heavier, and the effort to keep it looking
good. Exhausting. Endless blow drying, smoothing, curling, hoping today will be the day the layers fall just right. But more often than not, the hair hangs limp, giving the impression of fatigue rather than vibrance. The real shift came when I decided to cut it. Not drastically, not shockingly, just purposefully. A chin-length bob, a collarbone crop, or even a softly layered bob can change everything. By lifting the weight away, you give the face room to breathe again. The jawline looks sharper, the neck appears longer, your eyes suddenly take center stage. Before the change, I felt like I was carrying something heavy everywhere I went. I could see it in my posture, even in my expressions. After, I felt this surprising sense of release, as if I had set down a bag I didn't realize I'd been holding. Warnings became simpler, styling became quicker, and I noticed people looking at me, not just my hair. It's not about cutting your hair to prove something. It's about aligning the outside with the woman you've become inside. Sometimes letting go isn't loss, it's gain. You gain movement, shape, and a kind of lightness that shows up not just in your reflection, but in the way you carry yourself. When the weight lifts from your shoulders, literally, so does everything else. And in that moment, you realize beauty after 60 isn't about holding on to what once was. It's about choosing what lets you step forward, brighter and freer than before. 5. Side-swept bangs, the gentle curtain. For years, I avoided bangs. The memory of those thick, heavy fringes from the 80s, the ones that demanded a round brush, a can of hairspray, and a prayer, was enough to keep me far away. I thought bangs were high maintenance, outdated, and far from flattering. But what I didn't realize was that not all bangs are created equal, and the right kind can be one of the most flattering, face-brightening details for women over 60. As we age, our foreheads often become the first area to show fine lines, uneven texture, or changes in the hairline. Without meaning to, we let the world's attention go straight there. It's not about hiding those signs, they're part of the life we've lived, but about gently redirecting the gaze toward where we want the light to land. Our eyes, our smile, our expression. That's the quiet magic of side-swept bangs. Feathered softly, angled just enough to graze the brows, they move with your face instead of sitting stiffly across it. They frame without overpowering, add softness without bulk, and the best part? They work with so many lengths, from pixies to collarbone crops,
even with longer hair if you're not ready to say goodbye to it yet. Before, my face felt exposed, not bare in a confident way, but in a way that made me hyper-aware of every line, every shadow. After side-swept bangs, the balance shifted. People's eyes met mine more easily. My features felt more warmer. Even on days when the rest of my hair had a mind of its own, the bangs carried the look, like a delicate frame around a painting. And styling? A few swipes of a round brush, or even just your fingertips, is often enough. They grow out gracefully, giving you the freedom to adjust the length or shape without committing to a dramatic change. It's a detail that whispers, "I've thought about this," without shouting, "I'm trying too hard." Side-swept bangs aren't about turning back time. They're about adding a note of softness, a hint of playfulness, and a fresh focal point that draws attention exactly where you want it. Sometimes the gentlest curtain can open up the brightest view. You don't need a scalpel, a trend, or a complete reinvention to lift and brighten your face after 60. You just need the right adjustments in the right places. A cleaner neckline, a lighter crown, a touch of movement where the light can catch you. These aren't about becoming someone else. They're about revealing the you that's been there all along, just waiting for the weight to be lifted. Imagine stepping out of the salon and catching your reflection in a shop window. It's not a stranger staring back. It's you, but clearer. Your posture feels easier, your eyes seem brighter, and there's a quiet confidence in the way you move. The kind that doesn't need announcing, because it's felt before it's seen. I'd love to know, have you ever had a haircut that completely changed how you felt about yourself? Comment 1 if yes, 0 if not yet. And if today's ideas sparked something for you, stay tuned. Next, we'll talk about hair colors that illuminate your skin and bring a fresh glow to life after 60. Because beauty at this stage isn't about looking younger. It's about looking lighter, brighter, and more like yourself than ever before.